What's going on, Japsters? It's your boy SYNTELL with the Intel. Today's Intel is going to cover Nintendo Direct's new showcase. We get a whole lot of new games coming for the platform and a huge announcement about the cast of the up-and-coming Mario movie. But before we get started, make sure you hit the subscription button, click the bell icon for up-to-date news breaks, and give us a well-placed thumbs up. Alright, so let's first address the elephant in the room. Yo, what is up with the cast of the new Mario Brothers movie? So during Nintendo Direct's showcase, they did announce the cast, and there's some interesting names that are on here. Some of the cast members include, number 1, Chris Pratt playing Mario, Jack Black as Bowser, Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong, Charlie Day as Luigi, Keegan-Michael Key as Toad, Anya Taylor Joy as Princess Peach, Fred Armison's as Cranky Kong, Kevin Michael Richardson's as Kamek, Sebastian Maniscalco as Spike. This cast is pretty interesting. It's not your typical group of professional voice actors. We're getting like some actors that are just doing some voice acting. I guess that's gonna be a good thing. It could be a good thing. So just based off of the cast, you can tell that this isn't gonna be one of those projects that is going to take itself 100% and completely serious. Casting Chris Pratt as Mario is an interesting choice, to say the least. For one, he doesn't sound anything like Mario. That's probably, let's get that out of the way. He doesn't sound anything like an Italian plumber. To make things even worse, he went on the internet and gave his little rendition of how "It's a me, a Mario" sounds, and it sounded pretty much like me saying "It's a me, a Mario." It's I don't know. He says he's gonna be in the lab working on it. I hope so, because right now you are the lead of one of the most popular video game franchises of all time, outside of Pokemon, of course. You don't necessarily sound the part. Some of the other choices are pretty good, or at least can be interesting per se. Seth Rogen is Donkey Kong. I might not have initially liked that, but after sitting and thinking about it, him playing the voice of Donkey Kong could work. Jack Black is Bowser. When he gets a little bit more serious in that grizzled kind of voice and the depth of it could work as well. I'm really excited about Keegan-Michael Key playing Toad. All of his stuff is pretty good for the most part. He's just got one of those voices that can mold around what the other actors are doing. So Toad is just this little dude. He's probably gonna be like kind of high energy with it, and he's probably gonna have a little bit of that doubt in his voice. Keegan-Michael Key can pull that off. Now here's what I think is interesting, is Charlie Day as Luigi. In case you don't know who Charlie Day is, he's really known for It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. He plays a character that's just bouncing all over the place. He's silly, dumb, stupid, but his voice is a little off. It's not the voice I would have thought of when you think of playing Luigi, but once again, he's just a talented entertainer, and he probably can make it work. If it was me and I was Nintendo, me personally, I probably would have gotten some voice actors to do it. But then again, when you dig a little deeper and you discover who's actually working on the projects, both of the directors found a lot of their fame from Teen Titans Go, which to me is one of the best kids cartoons. I wouldn't even call it a kids cartoon. It's just probably one of the better cartoons in the past decade. They just come consistent with it. Teen Titan Go. Teen Titan Go is an absolute joy, and it's one of those things where it can be really, really meta. It doesn't take itself seriously at all. It pokes fun at itself every single episode, and I'm getting the feeling that because these are the two directors that are going to be on it, they're not going to steer too far away from what they already know, and that's that style of storytelling. So it could work. What I am concerned about, and also a little bit excited about, is what are they going to do with the story, because you're blending in Mario Brothers with Donkey Kong. One of the original Donkey Kong games did have Mario facing Donkey Kong, but I'm curious if they're gonna do like one of those worlds within the worlds. Wreck-It Ralph kind of did that. I kind of can see the writing on the wall that Nintendo's probably gonna do one of those, we're building the Nintendo verse, and they're gonna have Star Fox movies and Kirby movies. Super Mario, Donkey Kong's probably gonna be the next spin-off. But where this kind of falls a little short, and what I'm hoping that they don't do, is that they don't do the whole world within a world regarding The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda is just one of those pieces that you kind of want it to have its own legs, be a little bit more serious, and not like play off the poking fun of itself and breaking the fourth wall kind of thing. Mark my words, it probably is going to be that, a universe within itself, and Nintendo's just gonna keep these rolling. That's why you have this voice acting cast the way it is. That's why it looks the way it does, because it supports that kind of formula. Regardless, I'm gonna go see it. I'm a Mario fan. It did make me excited. Check out some of these memes regarding Chris Pratt plays over. Some of them are hilarious. If you get an opportunity, check out his rendition of doing the Mario voice. The next big piece of information is going to be Nintendo's Switch Online expansion pack. It's going to include a whole bunch of additional games that you can get with their Switch Online Plus. And it's not just regular Nintendo games, they're adding on Sega Genesis games as well. Some of the lineups regarding the N64 games include Super Mario 64, The Legend of Zelda, Ocarina of Time, Mario Kart 64, Star Fox, Dr. Mario 64, Mario 64 Tennis, Yoshi's Story, and then, to double up and back all of that catalog up, you have Sega Genesis lineups, which is going to include Sonic the Hedgehog 2, Streets of Rage, Echo the Dolphin, which is low-key a really good game, Castlevania Bloodlines, Contra Hardcore, Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine, Golden Axe, Phantasy Star. Yeah, and also in the future, they got some additional games that'll be coming out, and those games are going to include Banjo-Kazooie, Pokemon Snap, The Legend of Zelda Majora's Mask, Paper Mario, and F-Zero X. So it's looking like they're going to do like another additional pay-to-play kind of thing to go along with the Switch. Some of these titles are considerably aged, but if you are one of those people that have a fondness of nostalgia in your gaming, then this is probably going to be a good pack for you to pick up, because they're going to keep adding additional things to go along with it. Kind of makes sense for Nintendo to kind of repackage some of their old stuff and bring it back out again, because that's what they're known for. I don't know how many different versions of Mario we've seen and how many different retellings of the story of Zelda that we can do as well, but this seems par for the course. Yeah, if you're a fan of the nostalgia, this is going to be really good for you. So another cool thing that they're going to add with the service is that you can get the original controllers that will play along with the Switch, such as the original N64 controller. That had a very interesting and odd design, but it was very unique to itself. And also the Sega Genesis controller to go along with it. Now comes the huge list of game releases that they have. It's a lot of it. We're not gonna go into all of the details regarding it, but here's some of the ones that kind of stood out for me. Bayonetta 3 is coming out, and our favorite lady with the big gigantic blade is running around chopping up monsters. It looks good, it looks crisp and clean. There's a cool little extra that goes with it at the end of the trailer. Virgil from Devil May Cry looks like he may make an appearance at the end of the trailer. He kind of looks over his shoulder. You don't see his face completely, but that would be a nice little add, because there's one thing that can go along with Bayonetta perfectly when it comes to guns and swords, and that is Virgil from Devil May Cry. Splatoon 3 is making a return, and they're also bringing in the Mammalian single player campaign. If you're a fan of that, that's a good one as well. Looks like it's a ton of fun. My son loves it. Monster Hunter Rise Sunbreak is coming out as well. It's another expansion to the original Monster Hunter. Super Smash Bros. Ultimate final DLC fighter will be revealed in early October. So that's gonna close out Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. They're releasing one more person. I think that's coming out October 5th around 7 a.m. We don't know who it's going to be just yet, but it's gonna be the end of an era for all of my Smash Bros. Fans out there. Animal Crossing is gonna get its own direct in October. Brewster and the Roots are coming soon as well. The trailer of this just shows one of the Animal Crossing characters walking over to a sign that says go this way, so you can figure out what the next thing is coming regarding its direct. Mario Party Superstars is coming back again. It's doing another return of the Woody Woods, Yoshi's Tropical Island, and Horrorland. This is one of those games that every year I just seem to get a copy of it, play it 4 or 5 times, and then never play it again. And I'll probably do the exact one with this one. It's just one of those fun party games, and now that they're bringing back some of the old school original lands, hey, it's nothing like blowing the dust off of some of that nostalgia. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is making its way back to the Switch. There was an announcement during the PlayStation showcase a couple of weeks ago when they were thinking about doing the exact same thing, but they're doing a reimagination of the original. This one looks like it's going to be a direct port of the original. So if you're ready to get to it quick, it should be available November 11th. And then if you can hold off a little bit longer for the PlayStation version of the reimagination of it with updated graphics, maybe a couple of different type of gameplay options to go along with it, there's that as well. This is all cool with all the Knights of the Republic remakes coming back, but we may want to see an original piece redone, all brand new mechanics, everything. So just, keep that in mind. Yo, Nintendo, can you bring that? Can you make that happen? Castlevania Advance is bringing its 4 classic games to the Switch. Castlevania's been gaining a lot of steam, a lot because of nostalgia, 1, and then 2, the series that came out on Netflix is just amazing. It did a very good job. So I'm sure a lot of people are wanting to know what was the backstory to what that amazing anime may be. So it seems like they're just primed. If there's one thing Nintendo can do is blow the dust off of old games and make them relevant again. So this as another one of those examples. ActRaiser Resonance. ActRaiser came out on the Super Nintendo, and it was pretty unique because it was one of those side-scrolling slashers combined with an RPG element that overlooked this town as you played this god who's trying to like help the people. So you have to kill demons in this little side-scroller, and then you have like this cool little, it's like a Sim City-ish kind of feel where you're like clearing lands for people to grow crops. Well, they're remaking that or remastering it, and that's coming out on the Switch as well. Fun game. Okay, yeah, here's some interesting news that came out for the Metroid Dread. We've been waiting to see what this is going to be about, and they gave us a little bit more backstory regarding what Samus's mission is going to be as she explores all these new lands within this world. We get a chance to take a look at some of the new setups, some of the new monsters, and of course that feeling of being stalked by whatever this predator is that's chasing her down as you just try to survive. Another interesting game that I thought was pretty fascinating was Yoko Taro's Card RPG Voice of Cards. It's a card-based game, but the stage that you're playing on, you're actually playing on the actual cards themselves. It's one of those things where you have to kind of like look at it to get a full understanding of it. So it's an adventure game based off of a card-based system. So in a lot of other games that at least I've seen and played on regarding card-based is that you just play just these particular cards, and there's not a lot of narrative that goes along outside of what's written, right? If that makes sense. Well, this one, the graphic design, the level design is based on you moving through the cards that are laid on the table, and they're placed in a way where they become the world themselves. So check out this trailer. If you've ever been interested in doing some tabletop gaming regarding card playing, this is a fun and interesting way of going into that particular world without getting caught up with just sitting there with a handful of cards looking at your opponent across from you. Well done. It's a very unique way of going about it. For those that love those survive the horror games, Dying Light 2 is coming as well to the Switch. Mario Golf as well is gonna get a new character to add to Super Rush. Chocobo GP is coming to Final Fantasy as a racing game, so it's another Final Fantasy racing Chocobo game. Disco Elysium as well has been announced, which gained a lot of steam as well because it's another RPG-ish game where you play a detective and your decisions, of course, are going to unfold the story as you go along. It looks really cool. It's a little bit more adult in nature. What I'm noticing is that the Switch is picking up more games that seem to be a little bit more towards adult gaming and not just, you know, for the kids. So this is a cool little ad as well, but I wouldn't recommend your 10-year-old playing that particular game, even though it does look like it's a lot of fun. But if you do have a kid and they're looking for some stuff as well, there's another Disney's Magical World Tour. The Enchanted Edition brings the magic of Disney to the Switch as well. So it's one of those where you can get some more additional Disney characters. It's a lot better than, you know, playing a character that's killing drug dealers. And of course, there is another trailer showing off Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity's new expansion pass content. As we're sitting here waiting for the larger brand new game to pop up, we do have some more additional expansion content regarding Hyrule Warriors. It looks good. Some updates as well. All right, and that's gonna close out pretty much what I found that was interesting during Nintendo Direct's new showcase. We got a brand new movie. We got some more online Switch access with their expansion packs and a ton of games that's going to be added. This was filled with a lot of meat and potatoes. So for all of you Switch fans out there, Nintendo fans out there, there is a lot for you to munch on, a lot for you to be excited about, and things that you can start downloading today, and a lot of great games that are going to be dropping from now until November as well. All right, I'm officially done breaking your brain. That's the scoop for the day. Thank you for hanging out, and make sure you hit the subscribe button and click the bell icon to receive up-to-the-minute updates. There's also that nifty little thumbs up button that you can hit as well. That's how YouTube knows that you're digging what we're giving you. This is SYNTELL with Intel, and I'll see you tomorrow. Peace out.